Minnesota's newly elected state treasurer, Mike McGrath, is admitting tonight he ran for public office on a professional record that may have been presented to the voters as being more positive than it really was. This admission came after questioning from our political reporter, Lindsay Strand. Lindsay?
Well, Stan, this is a story about Democrat Mike McGrath, who now says that he wouldn't present himself to the voters the way he did. But he says he just did what other candidates do, assemble the facts in the way that is the most favorable. But our investigation raises questions as to whether his description of a blossoming business career is completely accurate. Minnesota's newly elected treasurer drives a cab. Mike McGrath began driving a cab this summer before being endorsed as the DFL party candidate. But the job was not listed on his biography. Only his job as a business consultant is mentioned.
I didn't think it would help. I didn't hide it, but on the other hand, I didn't bring it forward because I didn't think it would help.
Apparently, McGrath reached that same conclusion when it came to a lot of his background. For example, his biography states, quote, he moved to Minnesota where he enrolled at the university in a graduate program. And, quote, while in school, McGrath joined the First Trust Company in St. Paul. It doesn't say McGrath dropped out of school the same quarter he enrolled and didn't get the job until after he left school. Also, the biography states he, quote, went to work for International Dairy Queen, becoming vice president, but does not mention what he now confirms, that he left the company after officials told him to look for other work. McGrath says he fell victim to a company reorganization. Finally, his biography says he, quote, formed a company with a friend in 1984. It doesn't mention McGrath was an employee, not an owner, and was let go in less than a year because the employer told Eyewitness News, quote, I felt he was spending more time on politics than the office. He was not fired, but I didn't have enough money to go on that way. When we asked McGrath to explain the apparent discrepancies, he said, like most candidates, he put the best twist on the facts.
I allowed it to be flavored in such a way that was more positive than perhaps it truly was. I don't believe it's deceptive. I believe it is a description of the truth with flowers.
Would you do it again?
Not that, since you're asking me, I know I wouldn't.
Now, McGrath says despite appearances, he is confident he will do the job as state treasurer that he has promised, and that is to restore pride to the office, which is now held by Bob Mattson. And party officials say they'll have no comment about this until they have the opportunity to talk with Mr. McGrath directly.
Lindsay, did John Drew, McGrath's Republican opponent in Tuesday's election, did Drew know about this?
I understand that Mr. Drew was aware of some of these things, but that he made the decision that he would not pursue them in his campaign. He did not feel that was appropriate for him to be asking about them.
Interesting. Thank you, Lindsay.